There can be no greater good than the quest for peace, and no finer purpose than the preservation of freedom. And the American sound is hopeful, big hearted, idealistic, daring, decent, and fair. That's our heritage. That's our song. We sing it still. This is a time when the future seems a door you can walk right through into a room called tomorrow. Your voice, your hopes, and your dreams will define our American destiny, and your courage and goodness and love will forever guide us along the way. Our nation is shaped by the constant battle between our better angels and our darkest impulses. It is time for our better angels to prevail. Let us learn together and laugh together and work together and play together, confident that in the end we'll triumph together in the right. This is a time when the future seems a door you can walk right through into a room called tomorrow in any moment of decision. The best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. We must not then depend alone upon the love of liberty in the soul of man for its preservation. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. All of us share this world for but a brief moment in time. The question is whether we spend that time focused on what pushes us apart, or whether we commit ourselves to an effort, a sustained effort to find common ground, to focus on the future we seek for our children, and to respect the dignity of all human beings. We must not then depend alone upon the love of liberty in the soul of man for its preservation. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give them your confidence. True friendship is a plant of slow growth and must undergo and withstand the shocks of adversity before it is entitled to the appellation. I would rather belong to a poor nation that was free than to a rich nation that had ceased to be in love of liberty. Strong hearts and helpful hands are needed, and fortunately, we have them in every part of our beloved country. National character cannot be built by law. It is the sum of the moral fiber of its individuals. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. We are bound together by the most powerful of all ties, our fervent love for freedom and independence, which knows no homeland but the human heart. Too old to plant trees for my own gratification. I shall do it for my posterity. The only limit to the realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Let us move forward with strong and active faith. If we do not want to die together in war, we must learn to live together in peace. If we want to invest in the prosperity of our nation, we must invest in the education of our children so that their talents may be fully employed. If we do not want to die together in war, we must learn to live together in peace. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for we are the change that we seek. It is understanding that gives us an ability to have peace. When we understand the other fellow's viewpoint and he understands ours, then we can sit down and work out our differences. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. No man is worth his salt who is not ready at all times to risk his body, to risk his well being, to risk his life in a great cause. Hope is that thing inside us that insists, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and to work for it and fight for it. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. We must support our rights or lose our character, and with it, perhaps, our liberties. The light itself is a great corrective. Thousand wrongs and abuses that are grown in darkest darkness disappear like owls and bats before the light of day. A nation which does not remember what it was yesterday does not know what it is today, nor what it is trying to do. We are trying to do a futile thing if we do not know where we came from or what we have been about. We have faith that future generations will know here in the middle of the 20th century there came a time when men of good who found a way to unite and produce and fight to destroy the forces of ignorance and intolerance and slavery and war. I believe the declaration that all men are created equal is the great fundamental principle upon our free and to institutions rest. We must support our rights or lose our character, and with it, perhaps, our liberties. The strongest of all governments is that which is most free. The law is the only sure protection of the weak and the only efficient restraint upon strong. I leave comparisons to history, claiming only that I have acted in every instance from a conscientious a desire to do what was right constitutional within the law and for the very best interest of the whole people. Failures have been errors of judgment, not of intent. When there is lack of honor in the government, the morals of the whole people are poisoned. We become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams. The strongest of all governments is that which is most free. The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, if it is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. Peace is more than just an absence of war. True peace is justice. True peace is freedom, and true peace dictates the recognition of human rights. Through though our challenges are fearsome, so are our strengths. Americans have never ever been a relentless question and hopeful people. Peace is a journey of 1,000 miles, and it must be taken one step at a time. America is a great force for freedom and prosperity, yet our greatness is not measured in power of luxuries, but by who we are and how we treat one another. So we strive to be a compassionate, decent, hopeful society. Peace is a journey of 1,000 miles, and it must be taken one step at a time. A problem to be solved is not what form of government is perfect, but which of the forms is least imperfect. There can be no greater good than the quest for peace, and no finer purpose in the preservation of freedom. The life of a republic lies certainly in the energy, virtue, and intelligence of its citizens. Men may die, but the fabric of our free institutions remain unshaken. The will of the people is the source and the happiness of the people, the end all on all legitimate government upon earth. The life of a republic lies certainly in the energy, virtue, and intelligence of its citizens. Free speech, exercise both individually and through free press, is a necessity in any country where people are themselves free. We have come tardily to the tremendous task of cleaning up our environment. We should have moved with similar zeal at least a decade ago, but no purpose is served by post-mortems with visionary zeal. But the greatest realism, we must now address ourselves to the vast problems that confront us. How to keep America moving forward. always forward for a letter, a better America, for an endless enduring dream, and 1,000 points of light, whatever America hopes to bring to pass in the world, a must first come to pass in the heart of America, my forever America freestyle.